what Marrok is and who he is. Marrok? 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 I cannot pronounce this guy's name right, but we are going to be talking about, I think it's Marrok, and that's what I'm going to go with. Without further ado, let's get into this. Okay, so let's go over the Star Wars fan theories first, right? We got Ezra Bridger. Could this possibly be Ezra Bridger? I'm sitting here, I'm like, no, please do not let this be Ezra Bridger, because if it's Ezra Bridger, that would ruin Ezra Bridger's character, and I know that may seem like if it was Ezra Bridger, that would be interesting to a couple of people, because a couple of people would ask, well, why would Ezra Bridger turn so easily? What convinced him to turn, you know? And for me, it would honestly be another Luke Skywalker mishap with Ezra Bridger, and I'm not saying they couldn't do that in the future, but I'm really happy that Marrok did not end up being Ezra Bridger. It would ruin Ezra's character from Star Wars Rebels instantly. Now, another theory was the possibility of him being Starkiller. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, Starkiller, that would actually be really cool. That would be a cool tie-in. I mean, we know that Dave Filoni likes bringing in a bunch of other Star Wars lore and tying it all in together. So Starkiller, while could be fun, there also is a couple problems with that. If it's Starkiller, you know, you really nerfed him. I mean, Starkiller's a really powerful character, and I don't want him to be incredibly weak and then just easily get destroyed by Ahsoka. That would be cool. That would be cool for Starkiller. If it's Starkiller, I want him to have a big role in the story. And Marrok definitely does not. So, what is Marrok? Marrok turned out to be just a random person. That's right, just a random person who fights against Ahsoka, and Ahsoka has a cool duel with them, and because Ahsoka is a Jedi Master at this point, she was trained by Anakin, and she has had years and years of experience in learning the ways of the Force, as well as the ways of the lightsaber, as well as went against Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker again, and survived, as well as was trained a little bit by Obi-Wan Kenobi, a little bit too, and other characters. A very strong Jedi. She comes from a line of very strong Jedi. I'm telling you what, that moment when she just basically one slices Marrok, that was so cool. That was so cool. But then Marrok kind of explodes into a bunch of green dust. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, huh, that looks familiar. And then I had to think about it for a moment, but you know what Marrok's death reminds me of? Marrok's death reminds me of what happened to the zombies. Yes, that's right, zombies from the Clone Wars. If you don't know, in Star Wars, the Clone Wars, we had the Dathomirians, and the Dathomirian queen, Mother Talzin, was able to use her magic and literally bring her dead, the dead of her people, back to life to fight for her and her people. It was awesome to see. And when they died, they would kind of explode into a bunch of random dust. And we do know that this character, the one in charge of all of this, she is a Dathomirian. So I'm thinking Marrok was just a Dathomirian soul brought back to fight. And if that's the case, this excites me. You know why it excites me? Because we could see a case of a bunch of Dathomirian zombies fighting under Thrawn's control. That would be insane to see. That would be insane to see in live action. And I'm kind of looking forward to it, and that kind of really excites me at the possibility that we could end up with more quote-unquote zombies just because of Marrok. I think that idea is really, really cool, and I can't wait to see if my theory comes true. But I must admit, this is all a theory, and looking at the evidence, it really does point to this theory being true, but we'll have to wait and see. However, I can tell you this. Marrok, he just ended up being nobody, and he ended up being dead. Great. Moving on. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments below. Are you disappointed that Marrok turned out to be really no one? Did you guys think because he looks really cool that he needed to be someone important? Because we end up with that a lot within Star Wars. But at the end of the day, sometimes a cool design is just that, a cool design and no one that gets killed. That just happens all the time within Star Wars. And it really didn't break any of my expectations for it. In fact, I kind of liked the idea that he could have been a quote-unquote zombie ghost come back to life. A lot more than him being Starkiller or Ezra for that matter. But let me know down in the comments below your thoughts down in the comments below. And I am out for now. Bye, guys.